NIE Briefing, December 3rd, 2024, presented by Christine Scott. The impact of U.S. pensions and IRAs funding China's war against U.S. national and economic security. The U.S. is funding the Chinese military. U.S. pension funds have invested $68 billion in Chinese markets. Billions of dollars in 63 blacklisted Chinese AI companies. The United States is funding our largest adversary. China poses an existential threat to the United States' national security and economic prosperity. The U.S. is funding its greatest enemy. China intends to replace the United States as the world's superpower while it's stealing American intellectual property. Wall Street is undermining national security. Chinese markets are subject to the CCP's control and dictates. They are not transparent. China's goals and values directly oppose those of the United States. Due to human rights abuses or military expansion which threaten U.S. security and our values, many Chinese firms have been red flagged or blacklisted. Yet, BlackRock and others have invested billions in these very companies, directly decreasing jobs in the United States. We judge it as almost certain the United States investments in China negatively impact national security and the health of the economy. With near certainty, we judge that China's ability to grow its industrial and military strength will be greatly and negatively impacted if the United States stops investing in the country. With near certainty, we judge that decoupling from China will strengthen U.S. sovereignty, economic stability, and its role as a world leader. With near certainty, we judge will negatively impact China's ability to fund its war against the United States and her allies if laws are passed forbidding adversaries access to U.S. markets. With near certainty, we judge that China's economy does not have the sustainability and growth power to continue its aggressions against the United States defense and economy without the help of U.S. funding. With near certainty, we judge that, of its own accord, BlackRock, Fidelity, Vanguard, and other index funds will continue to fund China's aggressions against the United States, and that such continued funding in an enemy state's military, industry, and technology has the ability to decrease the United States' leadership on the world stage. With near certainty, we judge that the U.S. has underestimated China's resolve toward its communist policies, that the U.S. erred in believing China would become more democratic and open if the United States and her allies opened her commercial markets to an enemy. China has proven that the enemy becomes more fierce and devious rather than more amiable and neighborly. The CCP's agenda is contrary to that of the United States. China would see the U.S. fall. China would see the health and the strength and the ability to defend herself crumble. With near certainty, we judge that China will see this happen if the United States does not defend herself and her people. With near certainty, we judge that it is highly unlikely that without legislative intervention, investment entities choosing to put their investors' funds in what we judge to be very financially risky and dangerous Chinese companies that aim to overthrow U.S. dominance will be inclined to take such actions on their own. There are 40 Chinese companies in U.S. markets with Iranian links, 8 of which have ties to the Iranian military, and 9 of which are linked to Iran's intelligence industry. With near certainty, we judge that it is highly unlikely that of its own fruition, Vanguard will divest in the 60 Chinese military industry complex subsidiaries, or the 56 Chinese military companies operating in the United States to obtain advanced technologies, or the 20 companies denied access to U.S. technology because they are considered military end users, or the 8 companies excluded from the U.S. commercial markets due to violations related to UFLPA. With near certainty, we judge that without direct intervention by Congress or the military, said companies will continue with the intention of increasing their activities over the next 2 to 5 years. Since the U.S. has sanctions against Iran, which 40 Chinese companies are ignoring while operating on U.S. soil, it is probable that action will be taken by the U.S. military and/or Congress since this is an urgent matter of national security. In our judgment, it is highly likely that legislative action has the ability to curtail or derail China's political, defensive, technological, and economic goals against the United States.